They're eating the dogs. They're coming over the borders with their women and their chihuahuas.
You're coming in fast with that.
They're eating dogs, the chihuahuas, their women, the chihuahua. Very loud, very obnoxious.
Chihuahua house.
Women are. This is in no way political. It's just something we thought would be fun to start the show off. Ace, how are you, dude? It's the Puck Drop
Good,
Pod.
Chris.
Where are we at? Episode
8. Hey, that's my number. Number 8.
What an episode. One of the
backwards.
best. You are wearing what jersey?
This, my friend, I have to show you. This is my first ever jersey. Can you guess?
Assistant 80s jersey? Is that 80s?
80?
Feels like a number 10. Oh, look at this, buddy. You're not going to believe it. So he's got the number 10 John LeClair on. I'm wearing the Cardinal Doherty Flames jersey in honor of Johnny Hockey. I don't have a Flames jersey. This is as close to what I get. But also, buddy, look. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There we go. And you know what? Oddly enough, because I picked 10 because of Johnny LeClair.
Yeah, that's awesome. At full circle. Full circle. I wore the 10 because you were wearing the Almost Flames-like in a tribute to Goudreau, and if you don't, don't fact check me on this. I might be making it up, but it might be real. It's real.
It's Johnny
Goudreau wore number 10 in World Juniors.
Look at that.
USA 10-10. There we go.
Sometimes things just come together when you least expect it. The Puck Drop Pod. This is how we do it. Puck Drop Pod. It's the best Flyers podcast that you're not listening to. So what I need you to do, if you are listening to it the Apple email is on the way. Larry from Apple is helping me out.
Larry,
can you help me out with my podcast, Larry? Larry's going to help me out. I've been talking with him all day. I don't know why we can't upload, but we will. It's on Spotify. You can watch this disaster of a train wreck on YouTube as well. If you're doing that, like and subscribe as usual. Smash it. Do whatever you want.
Tell your friends.
Don't eat the dogs. They're eating them. We've been doing this all day.
All day. All of our friends who were listening just turned it off. Like, God, they're doing this again.
I got to be honest with you, though. I was on a heater all day.
Yeah, you were.
I was on a roll. And then, when
like a hot dog.
Don't eat the hot dogs; they'll give you cancer.
We're not talking about hot dogs. Not hot dogs.
A literal hot dog. Put them over fire. Put them over the coals. Well, as soon as the bright lights come on, I lose it. I was in the background. I was killing it, and now I'm flailing. I think it's okay. We'll pick it up. But listen, tell your friends. Tell Nana. Nana is on her last legs, probably. She's only got a few days left. Give her the gift.
Good old
of hockey.
Mima.
Mima is almost in heaven. She's still here, but she's almost in heaven. And what would you want? What else would you want before you get to heaven than some good old-fashioned hockey talk? I've got my ear to the sidewalk. And the sidewalk, and there's people telling me that the chemistry that Ace and I have, even if you don't like hockey, you'll enjoy the podcast. Now, the person that told me that, I may or may not be romantically involved with, but that has nothing to do with it. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. Don't you judge me.
Model.
I'm out here living my best life.
Is she a model?
No, you can't say that. Listen, I'm going to say, she's a model in my eyes, Ace.
That was the, oh my God.
See?
Whoa. What is going on?
Don't get a complex. We're all good. All right. Episode 9. Welcome to Rookie Camp, Ace. Hockey is finally here. 8.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm talking in the future. This is future Puck Drop Pod. We're Marty McFly. We're traveling through time. And I wish I could travel through time to get to Friday, which is the first unveiling of Mr. Matvey Michkov, which is going to be unbelievable. And, judging by the reaction from Rookie Camp so far, we're in for a really, really good next 10 to 15 years for sure.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I saw that line waiting outside of their training center, and just the crowd in there. It kind of gives you the feeling. I don't know if this is getting too mushy, but like when you were a kid and you went into that exact size rink and all the parents were standing around there and you got that like mushy feeling. That's kind of what I got.
The smell. Every rink smells exactly the same.
Smells the same. Propane.
Yeah. The
horrible.
Cancer that you're getting. The
cancer. The carcinogens. That's what I was looking for.
What a time. You were all dying of slow deaths.
But I got that feeling. When I saw all those people standing in line and crowding around the tiny little rink there.
And some interesting, even the beginning of camp so far, it's only been in the first couple days of camp, really, I think, has solidified why we're so excited. Because obviously the Michkov thing is the Michkov thing. He's just going to bring a ton of skill. He's only going to get better. He's only 19 now, so he's going to get better. But also, Jetlichenko has really stood out. And we'll play some video in just a second while we're talking about this. You talk about Jet because obviously you know a little bit about the prospect pool, more so than I do. And we've already known that you've put the blank in analytics.
That's true.
He does. He puts the ANAL
capital
in
A.
analytics. Capital A, lowercase the rest. So talk about Jet, because I think it's one of those things that, at the time they kind of moved down. They picked Jetlichenko at 16, was it?
15.
15. So they moved down, and they take a guy that wasn't really. I mean, I think you mentioned him on the podcast, but mostly wasn't really a mainstream name as like Cole Iserman, the Demidovs of the world. So talk about him and where he came from and what he's going to bring to the table, because it looks like right now he is a man-child at 17.
Let's start it out this way. The Flyers haven't had much luck drafting in the teens, so I look at it like this. He wasn't on the board where they were. However, had they moved back to maybe 22nd, where they get very lucky, that's basically the area he would have been drafted in, is 22, 23, where we have had some really good luck there. In fact, G, TK, Mike Richards. So I'm looking at this as a positive thing, not knowing much about him originally, other than he was really fast. He was also the youngest guy in the draft, so he just turned 18 a few weeks ago. Kid just is legal. Signed his ELC. Yeah, right. Yeah,
you've got your chance now.
Yeah,
it's
yes. Hey. I'm coming, Jet.
Jet.
He what an awesome name. I know. It's even better that he has that cool of a name. You know what I mean? And he's fast. Like if his name was Jet and he looked like, I don't know.
So it's not just a
Pat
name.
Falloon out there.
Don't give me Pat Falloon PTSD, please, Ace. Please don't do that.
Yeah. But man, he is a man-child. He said he put another 5 pounds on in the off season, and he looks fucking huge. Ooh, I did it. He looks huge. Oh, now I gotta put the not safe for work tag on this one. This is gonna be the cuss drop cast now.
Once you get Ace talking about freshly 18-year-old men, he just loses all sense. And we're playing. Hopefully the audience can see this. We put together a little montage of the rookie camp so far. A lot of it was from NBC Philly, NBC Sports Philly. Maher Media, I think, is in there as well. Jordan Hall, right? Jordan Hall,
yep.
NBC. Yeah. So that's mostly what you're seeing is his work. So thanks to Jordan, he does a great job, and so does Chris Maher. I think I'm saying that name right. Like a younger podcaster, but he's actually gets a lot of good good gets, as they say.
He's got some sweet seats there.
He really does. So we're watching Jetlichenko now, so hopefully that's translating through. And there's Matvei Michkov knocking.
Just a side note, I see your Google Drive. I don't see any video playing on my end.
Oh,
so
come on.
I hope that's not.
No. There's only a few nudies in there. Don't worry. We're figuring it out. Look,
This is a live audience that they're watching, so this is the cool behind the scenes stuff that not everybody gets to see.
That really sucks. I guess it's not. When we did a
That
test,
doesn't-
we did a test before. Do you want to see my walk up? There's nothing in there there's nothing embarrassing in there, but like
No,
I
was like, wait a second, what am I looking at?
Yeah, I thought
You know what? It might be recording, and I just might not be able to see it because I'm in your studio. So hopefully they saw it, and you know.
I don't know. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. Whatever. We'll try it again. We have some audio of Michkov and Lutsenko talking.
I just want to point out that Brian Fisher's out there going, I told you.
He's doing the it's not Chichi Rodriguez. Who was it in Happy Gilmore when he just holds the putter? He's like,
yeah.
That old school.
I don't remember who it was, but yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
I want to say Chichi Rodriguez, but it's not. Hold on, I gotta look it up, or else I'm gonna really.
Oh no.
Upset.
Well, I'll finish talking about Jet while you look that up.
You take care of business. I'll take care of the real business. Is finding this answer.
There you go. One of the things that I noticed more about him was outside of his speed is he's very smart. I didn't realize he knows where to be, man. He has. I don't want to put pressure on him because he's the top rated center in our prospect pool now, but he could win a Selke with his brain and that talent. And after watching him skate with Michkov today, look out if that is a line pair. I'm interested to see how it looks tomorrow.
Yeah, me too. Lee Trevino, by the way. He was the guy. Lee Trevino.
Obscure
also,
name.
Yeah, very. Lutsenko looks 30. He is not 30. He's 18, as Ace is going to stalk his DMs in a second. He looks like a man. He reminds me, and I think the comp to me, I don't know necessarily about playing style, but just the look and the way he, projects himself is Rod the Bod, Rod Brindamore, wearing the same number, 17. So I feel like it's a compliment because obviously Rod was awesome.
Yeah, looks good on him. I hope he keeps that number. It looks pretty cool.
It does look cool. I like it.
He kind of reminds me more of a faster Mike Richards and Rod Brindamore. If he had the body of Brindamore and the physical playing style and size of Mike Richards.
I can dig that. I would listen, if you can get that at 16 or 15, whatever we said, I would be all in on that. That's just something. I mean, we're dying for just luck, right? We've had some bad luck over the past however many years, and if we can hit big on something like this, and now you got a 17 and a 19-year-old growing together, and for the next decade, hopefully we'll have a McKinnon kind of.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
McKinnon Rantanen kind of thing going on. That would be phenomenal. The big two, you need them, and so we'll see.
I call it the people you want on the ice, where the other players on your team aren't jealous that they're on the ice because they know they're gonna be way better than them and do better things.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see what Torts. Obviously, Michkov. Since the video didn't play, but we'll figure that out in next. We'll play it next time, I guess.
Yeah.
But Michkov within 2 days tries a Michigan.
Yeah,
Torts
I saw it.
On the side. Torts. If you heard a big loud bang at the rink, that was Torts' head exploding, and I think everybody knew in the entire arena, like, to look down the Torts, like.
I feel like even the fans turned around and went.
Not going to enjoy that. So it's going to be, but I think is even Torts probably would admit, I don't think you don't want to put a lid on that kid.
Yeah,
you just want to let him go. You know what I mean? Once you start doing that stuff, it's like, I get it that you don't like the way the league's going in that sense, but also I think that you have to just let him be, let 39 be 39, because if you don't, that's his game, man. Like, we were dying for this kind of skill for so long, and to throttle it would, to me, be just doing not only him, but everybody who's waited for so long a disservice, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And one of the things I feel like with him specifically, he's not very, I don't know how to put this, but he's not showing off. He is actually doing this because he knows he's going to score, if that makes any sense. Like, he's confident in himself enough that it comes off as I'm just playing how I play. I'm not being a showboat. Like when Zegras does it, you're kind of like, all right, kid. But for some reason, the way he does it, it's so smooth and it's so not pompous,
Well, I think the difference between what he's going to be doing and what Zegras is doing is basically, like you said, their attitudes.
Yeah.
Zegras comes off as this like, West Coast kind of pretty boy, kind of flashy kid,
like me,
like you. When I see
that
him,
described
really
me.
That's Ace. That feels
that's Ace. Especially the hair, the new long hair with the mullet.
Flow, yeah, he's got
surfer
the
flow.
That's
totally me.
It's a Vidal Sassoon commercial in your house.
That's true. That's true.
It is. Where was I? The difference between him and Zegras. I think he's business. When you see him on the ice, he's a Russian.
Exactly.
So he's going to mean a little bit of business, right? So that Russian kind of attitude, but also he seems like he's got somewhat of a personality. He was, like I said, it would have been great if I could get the video, and I still might try while you're talking. But he seems like he's a fun guy, a fun personality, and hopefully we get to see more of that as he learns English and how and as the season goes on. Playing on Friday, which are you shocked at that? Because I'm a little surprised that they're throwing him out there.
I'd be more shocked if he didn't play both games.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he wants to play both of them. He does not want to sit that second one. I guarantee it. They're gonna have to slow him down and be like, well, you don't want to get hurt. You already we'll see how he plays on Friday. If he plays and if he gets like 7 points, maybe he won't play.
I mean, you want to be careful. I feel like they would lean to the side of being careful with him, but I guess you're right. Like, you're here, let's play.
Yeah.
See what you can do, and it's one of the most exciting rookie games probably in the past 25 years, right?
Yeah, since this jersey was relevant.
Right, and I think that's the last time, which is the last time we were completely relevant. We've had good seasons. There's been seasons that we've overachieved, and then screwed up by the draft or whatever, or bad just management. But that was the last time in the late 90s where you knew every year there was a shot, and there should have been more than what we got during that era. So I think we're hopefully building towards it now. That's the biggest piece. Who else I think is standing out? Bonk obviously standing out as well. From the limited amount of stuff that I was able to see, I wasn't able to get down there, but from the limited amount of stuff, we'll see who makes the team. Any surprises? Who would you just pick one or two guys that wouldn't surprise you if they made the roster come October?
Yeah, I'll go with what my gut tells me, and I'll go with what my brain tells me. And as of now, my brain tells me there's probably a 3% chance that Jatlachenko makes this team. My gut tells me there's a 50-50 chance that he makes this team. I don't know why. Just watching him play and watching that chemistry he had with Michkov right off the bat. I mean, they were toying with the kids out there. It was embarrassing almost. But if
thought, no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, my thought process was, okay, yeah, you can make the team, but not based on what you're doing with Michkov, because he probably wouldn't play with him, right? So you're talking about if Lachenko makes it, theoretically you're going to put him on the fourth line, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to give him second line minutes on a. The tank is on at that point.
I'd say he could get second line. If he makes the team, he's probably going to get second line minutes, and Frost is going to be your 3C. That would be. He's not making the team if he's playing fourth line. You know what I mean? There was no point.
Well, what's worse?
I still think between. Yeah,
you're going to send him back to junior, and he's going to dominate, or he's going to play 7 minutes a game. So what do you want?
I mean, he's going to go to.
What's better for the development?
He plays for the Gulf Storm, and they're a terrible team. So he's going to go back, and he's going to be the leading scorer on his team because no one else around him can do it. And that's not going to help his, project. He won't get better doing that. He'll just stagnate because he's already done that. So, in my opinion, they might see that. He plays center. We're the weakest at center right now. we don't even know if Coots is going to be able to play the full season. It could. There's a better shot than I think, even though my brain tells me single digits percent that he makes the team.
Yeah, I think it's single digits too. I think all of this is just wishful thinking. I guess this is. It would be shocking if he did.
Yeah,
and I think they'll probably do the typical thing and send him back, and just even if he dominates, that's fine.
Yeah.
At 18, like, what are you going to do? Can't go to the AHL, which is the weirdest rule to me. I understand you don't want to cherry pick from all the other leagues to make that league better, but for development for some kids, it just doesn't. It's not helpful because that would be a perfect situation for him right now to play.
Absolutely, the AHL should really model their rules after the Canadian juniors, where they have the granting exceptional status kind of thing for 15-year-olds trying to make they should have the same thing for the AHL. You know what I mean? Like, there should be some players that can play.
Yeah, at least one. You get one prospect that can do it. But that's them's the breaks, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I think it would be good to see Bonk make a team. I think his size right now, his game right now, from what I know of it, right? I haven't seen him play.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him play a little bit for the Knights, but it just feels like his game could translate, and he might help you on the power play. You could put him on a third pair, and he probably would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting with him because he would have been my pick with the most realistic chance of making this team.
Right.
And I think this all also hinges on what's going on with Risto. I haven't heard a damn thing about him. I heard he was skating, but Coots was skating for like 11 years before he played again.
I could be skating, but I've got
I could be skating too. I'm sure Ryan Ellis is skating still.
I don't know. He's probably at the bouncy house where you saw him last. He's still there. Ace saw Ryan Ellis at like one of those like trampoline parks.
Yeah.
He sends me the picture, and I thought it was just a random guy. I'm like, who is this? And then I see the beard. I'm like, is that Ryan Ellis? Like, there's no way. Like, if you went into a corner with Ryan Ellis, there'd be 0% chance you'd be scared of that guy.
I mean, yeah. He was thick though. He was like a tank.
Thick? Was it two C's or just CK?
No, there was two C's. He was thick.
C's.
Two C's.
All right.
Yeah, he was thick like Michkov.
Thick like Michkov. Moves like Jagger, thick like Michkov.
That's the first song for our band. 11 minutes to Mars, or 11
minutes to tacos.
11 minutes to tacos.
It's too long for tacos. I want my tacos within 10 minutes. Back in my administration, they'd be 9 minutes. 9 minutes is what they said. I'm not saying that they are.
Instead of yo quiero Taco Bell, it's yo quiero dog.
They're eating dogs. They're eating
quiero.
dogs.
What?
Yo quiero dogs. Yo quiero cats. They call me Mr. All right, we're done. Jet Lachenko. What are we talking about?
Bonk possibly making the team.
Bonk making the team. Predictions, I think, for so let's say typically they're going to go with the chalk roster, right? They're not going to. Michkov will be there, but that's probably going to be the only person. You're not going to see Denver Barkey. Yep. You're not going to see Bonk. You're probably not going to see Emil Andre, which that's another guy we need to talk about because that's like, where is he now? Because they're talking him up. He's faster. He looks better. He's changed his workout regimen and all that. Played well in the AHL last year. Smaller guy, reminds me of a Kimmo Timonen type of guy. Can make good plays, kind of like a quarterback. Offensively. I mean, there doesn't seem to be a spot for him if Risto has to make the team. If Risto makes the team, even theoretically, you want to trade him at the deadline, which is fine, and you probably should. Yep. But that means he's got to play all the way through.
Yeah, somebody can finally see playoff Risto.
Right. So that feels like if Bonk is your guy, do you trade him?
Yeah.
You know, Is
Yeah,
that a trade piece for you? Is that something? Because I mean, it just does. He doesn't seem to fit right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I think if you were looking at it as Emil Andre versus Bonk, Andre is here. They can send Bonk back. You know,
Yeah.
another year in juniors isn't going to hurt him. They could easily tell him, you were clearly the best defenseman on your team. Go be the best defenseman in the entire league this year. You know, they could still do that.
But even so, even if you say it's York and Sanheim, Drysdale. Who's the second pair? Why am I blanking on this?
York, Sanheim. Who's on
Sealer
that left side?
Risto.
Sealer. No, it would be Sealer.
Sealer,
and then you have
Risto, Andre, potentially.
Or Zamula.
No, I forgot about Igor Zamula. Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another body. Like, what do you do there? Do you make him,
I think you're
Andre the seventh guy, and then now you've got him ping-pong in between the AHL. I mean, obviously there's going to be injuries, right? So you could account for that.
Zamula probably is starting. No matter how bad of a preseason he has, he's probably going to start only because him and Fedotov are the only translators on the team at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
But that doesn't necessarily mean I can easily see them just sitting Risto or Sealer or even Sanheim. Like, everybody's scratchable in the first parts of the season, you know?
For sure.
So Andre could make the team just based off of being a 7 and still playing 3-4 games easily.
Yeah, to me, I think you need Risto there. You need him in the lineup because, like I said, they have to. They have to be
boost that trade. Yeah,
that's not a long term. Yeah, you got to boost it. And he's got to play. He's got to play well. He's got to get a minute. So he might even be on the second pair.
Yeah, every game you scratch him, you're losing that trade piece.
Right, you are. You got to get him out there, especially since he missed so much time. You have to get him out there. He's got to play. I mean, and then you run the risk of him not. Now you run the risk of him not playing well. But I mean, your asset has to be your asset. And you got to play him. So, I would assume that would be it. So you've got the forwards are the forwards. You still got Kuch.
We didn't even touch on Ronnie Attard too. Like, he's 25 now.
I just don't see him. I mean, he's a guy, right? He played well. And then you got Jennings, too.
He's good. They love him. And then you got McDonald, which I didn't even bring up yet, because that was the guy I was going to say, if Risto ever gets injured, he's on the team. His spot is locked up.
Yeah, Jonesy has been talking about Hunter McDonald for years, and he gets sweaty every time he talks about him, for good reason. 6'4", 230, 235. It's a big guy.
That's a big guy.
Plays with a chip on his shoulder, too, which you'd love to see. And so if he can play, he feels like I always loved I don't know, where's Zadorov now? He was in
Calgary for a little bit. I think he just got traded to
he's been bumped all over
Minnesota?
the place. But I don't know. You could tell me anything at this point, because he's been a which
Toronto?
Because I love no.
Go ahead. You love him.
I just love his style of game. He's a mean guy, big dude, and I love that kind of. You want that kind of defenseman, and I think we need that kind of defenseman. We have, you've got Sanheim, who has that big body, but he plays much smaller than what he is. He's got skill, and that's fine, but you want that guy that people are scared of back there, right? That Scott Stevens guy.
Absolutely.
No, Scott didn't have that size. Wasn't a small guy, but could throw the body around and could make you intimidated. And I think just that intimidation factor. You don't even have to be that great of a defenseman if you have that factor and you're scaring people.
You could get by with just reach and scaring.
Scaring and just laying the lumber every couple shifts.
He's on Boston.
I forget about him. Huh?
Zadorov. Boston.
Oh, he's on Boston now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, is that why Charlie McAvoy said they've got the smallest D? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
That's what she said.
Yep. Speaking of the D, I can see it on your jersey right now.
Well, if you know me, Ace, I loved having the D on my chest. And that's
you love rocking the D.
I love
there it is.
D. The D right here. Just right on my chest. It's a Doherty Flames D. Stop it. Knock it off, everybody. YouTube, don't flag
I knew what you meant.
Even though
YouTube.
Ace cursed earlier.
I already got the not safe for work tag on it, so.
on your 10-year anniversary. Jesus, your wife must be so proud of you. My goodness gracious.
Oh,
Happy
man, I just
anniversary to
embarrassed
Mr.
her.
and Mrs. Ace, though, by the way. 10
Mrs.
blissful
Ace.
years. And this is Ace is going to be divorced after this. He's like, hey, hon, happy anniversary. I'm going to the shed to record a podcast.
Go back in. The doors are locked.
Yeah, the locks have already been changed.
My dog's just looking at me, smiling.
There's a there's a decree on your front door when you try to go back in there. So the last anniversary Ace will ever have is tonight. So congratulations. Happy anniversary. Congrats on the divorce. And hopefully you rebound quick. Hopefully she doesn't take the house. So speaking of divorce, let's talk about the divorce that we've had with a goalie. And that would be Mr. Kolosov. Not reporting to camp. Wants to, I guess, he's homesick. He's a little baby boy. He wants to stay in Mother Russia. Good for him. We have goalies in the pipeline, so yeah, it's a loss. He's good. He was good in the KHL. We'll see how he only played a couple games in Lehigh. So just a name right now, but like your thoughts on that, because I'm starting to get a little tired of this happening constantly.
It is frustrating.
It's super frustrating.
At this point, it's like they're just gonna toll his contract anyway. So we're gonna just keep the rights to him. He'll never play in the NHL unless it's for the Flyers, unless we trade him. So that could be a possibility. He could blow up the league and get traded, I guess. But who wants him now? Yeah. Who's gonna want him here?
I don't know. I would need to know more about the situation because I don't think. I mean, he came over. I guess the rumor was that they stuck him in a hotel. But I don't see the management here kind of screwing around and making somebody feel uncomfortable on purpose.
Yeah, listen, that definitely does not sound like them.
Allentown isn't the greatest place to be, but what are you expecting? Like, go to any AHL city, it's going to be roughly the same. I mean, outside maybe a 3-block radius of the PP&L Center, I wouldn't suggest hanging around at night. But I mean, I don't know where where the guys live up there, but I would
it's not St. Petersburg. I mean, Allentown, St. Petersburg.
So at this point, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who it's on. Right? We would need to hear from him himself as to what the issue is.
And even when we find out what that issue it is, it's been so long since this has happened. We're gonna be like, "That's BS. You're making that up. Why didn't you tell us that in the beginning then?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, like homesickness. I don't even know what that. I mean, I get it. I guess. I mean, he's a young kid.
Yeah, I mean, he could be having family issues. He's got a young girlfriend out there. I don't know if he's just worried about her.
Jesus! Don't give me girlfriends. I don't have plenty of American women out here, Alexei.
Yeah,
they'll love you.
They're your size.
Especially in Allentown, they'll love you for $5. $5 make you.
Does that happen in Allentown?
It has to, man. It happens in every city like that. Of course.
I guess so. Yeah.
$5. Maybe it's 10. It's inflation.
Inflation. That's right. See, we're even.
You could get a hooker for $3 in my administration. It's now 10. That's crazy. Who can afford that? Nobody. It's just fun to do. Even if it doesn't sound good, it's fun to do. Alexei, the Russians. I love the Russians. Play goalie here. So yeah, I don't know I don't know what to make of it. For me, it's like if you don't want to be here, don't be here. But you're just
we don't want them.
Look, I guess it's not everybody's ultimate dream, I guess, to play in the NHL. But if it's not yours, then like Jonesy said, you don't want to be a Flyer, you're not going to be one. So.
Yep, exactly.
Good luck to him, wherever he.
Good luck in your job search.
Good luck in your future endeavors, and we'll see you never, I guess. You can go on the wall of shame like Quitter Gauthier, Alexei Kolosov, Torrey Krug didn't want to come.
That's right.
And then he gets hurt. Karma.
Yep.
Instant karma.
Karma. Instant karma. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep. Shoulda.
He's out for the season. He should have came to Philly. He could have been healthy. Ask Ryan Ellis.
Yeah, exactly. Our medical staff is top notch.
Top notch, top notch. So
the best. Oh, great! Now you got me doing it.
Yeah. All right, I'm done. I was gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So let's go. Let's end with predictions for the season. I see it. I could go either way. Would I be shocked if they're a 6 seed, a 5 seed, depending on what Michkov does? It could be. You don't know. I think this is exciting in the sense that, like, we don't know what the roster is going to look like. We don't know what the team is going to look like. We have a generic idea or a basic idea of the parts, but there could be some surprises as we talked already. Realistically, how do you see the season kind of playing out?
I'm optimistic about the season itself in a whole. Yeah. I'm trying to temper my expectations singularly on Michkov because I think that even when Lindros started playing here, they were losing some games. He didn't change that right away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so he's already compared to, you compare him to Lindros only based off of Philadelphia being like the best since we've had, So he didn't even do that. So I think it's important for us to temper some of those expectations. Having said that, whatever amount of points, this is the same team we're bringing back, the exact same team, minus a few, old men who didn't play. But you're adding Michkov's offense to what we had last year already. So even if we just do what we did last year and he pumps in 20 goals and, 30 assists and has a 50-point season, that's 50 more points scored than we had last year. And we were already a borderline team. So I'm going to say we probably make the playoffs. I'm going to say we make the first round of the playoffs. And when you get into the playoffs, it's all about that goaltending.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And that's something else that I'm really interested to see, a full season of Fedotov. We know what Urson is probably. But it's good to have somebody to take the load off of Urson. And it'd be great to see the big guy in there for more than, probably, I would say 40% of the games.
Yeah, I want to see him at 40 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to do that because it feels like when we've seen it multiple times where Urson plays really, really well, runs out of gas at the end of the season for whatever reason. And it's happened in the AHL. It's happened in the NHL. So hopefully that rectifies itself with a good goalie tandem. And you know how Torts loves a good goalie tandem. Loved it in New York. Loves it here. So
that's true.
Hopefully, hopefully we'll see that. Because he's talked about that multiple times, especially in like Road to the Winter Classic and all that stuff. He's definitely
that's right. Yeah.
Like a 60-40 guy. And yeah, I mean, it's important to have two goalies. Look what it did for Boston. I mean, they lost one now, but they had a really good tandem. And even when we had the Rapist and Urson together, it was a good tandem too.
Yeah, that's true.
The Rapist.
The Rapist who's not allowed. I'll take the Rapist. That's Therapist.
It's Therapist, okay? It's not the Rapist. I just grab him. Never mind.
Did you hear he got flagged for trying to come into America?
I eat chicken wings in a hotel room with an orgy. Sorry. Allegedly.
Allegedly. But you know who didn't allegedly get stopped at the border? Carter Hart. Trying to come into the country here. Psh, we were like, Canada's like, no. Everybody else who's being sued, you're allowed to go to Russia and play. But you, young man, you can't leave Ontario.
Everybody else named in this rape allegation, allowed to go freely wherever they want. Carter Hart has to stay put. What does that tell you? You're the doer. You are the doer. You are the doer. You're the main guy. And that's so weird to me because it really speaks to, like, you don't really know somebody based on their appearance. Never judge a book by their cover. I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's something I might have just made up on my own.
You just made that.
A lot of things on my own.
That one works.
I'm very intelligent. I make up things. Watch. Never judge a book by its cover. That's mine. That's what I do. My Trump is getting more and more lazy as we go along.
Yeah, it's more wine you drink.
It's just wine. It's gonna turn into Seinfeld. Again, we're gonna do Seinfeld before we get out of here. It's rape.
Why is he always doing?
You're watching your buddies have intercourse with a woman while you're eating chicken wings. Jerry, they were buffalo. You're a rapist. Stop raping. All right.
Well, if your first job doesn't work out, and our second job as podcasters doesn't work out, you have a third option there, I think.
Just weird Seinfeld impressions.
Just impressions in general.
Just impressions. They're like C-level Like, there's so many people that do this way better. I'm just like the guy that like just bites off them. I don't have any talent at all. This is dumb. Somebody was like, you should do the Trump, you should do Trump voiceovers. And I'm like, do you know how many really good people there are that do this?
For real.
I almost did it. Do this poop. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Hey, listen, today is
Thank God the season starts tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about later. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel. But it was a big day in my household today, too, because pre-ordered NHL 25. If I don't see you in the hut, if I don't see you in hut this year, I'm going to be upset. This is like the third year in a row. I'm like, dude, just get
You're going to rip up my contract right in front of me.
Yeah, just listen, we'll get you on there. We'll get you all set up. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be a good team. You can just play. It's fun.
Yeah, just have the option.
Yeah, just have the option of playing it. It's fun. So NHL 25. We might have to shut down this podcast for the entire season because it does look a little different to the point. And nobody cares about video game talk, but I care about video game talk, and this is my podcast. This is our podcast, and I'm going to talk about video games.
That's right.
It looks different.
Preach.
It looks great. It looks awesome. I'm excited. And if I'll be pissed off at you if you don't play Hut this year.
I'll play. I'll definitely
play. I need to see you in the league. Yeah, I need to see you.
I'll play.
Anybody else?
Does it actually look any different? I don't know much about it.
No. Well, there's only so much you can do differently to how it actually looks. Like they'll change things like where the scoreboard goes, celebrations, stuff like that. It looks like they've got a couple extra like tweaks that are really cool. The way the players move. More realistic every year. So it's like little tweaks. I mean, honestly, what you could do instead of charging me literally $90 every year is just upgrade the same game.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to buy
I don't know why we don't do that now. Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
I don't need to buy. Just call it NHL, and this is version 25 or something like that. Because it is kind of the same. You notice
you hear that EA Sports? Are you listening?
They're not because they're still going to get
they're
my
definitely
money.
not. Yeah.
They've already gotten my money.
They're sitting there going, the sucker, we got him. We got him good.
They're sitting there counting the bills and like, what? You want it different? Okay, shut up. He'll still play.
They'll be like looking at you going like, this guy's hooked harder than heroin right now.
Oh, dude. I haven't played. I was like, maybe I won't buy it this year. And I'm like, look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, who are you? Yes, you are. Even if you don't play it, you're going to buy it.
Absolutely buying that game.
I'm absolutely buy it.
Did they change anything else where, like, when you lift someone's stick, it's not always a penalty, or you poke check and it's not always a tripping? Or is that still a thing?
It's like 70-30.
Uh-huh.
You gotta get it. You got to get it in the right spot. You can't like it, like how people like and subscribe this podcast. They smash.
By smash.
You can't smash the poke check button. You can't do that because you will get a penalty. But I think it's pretty. I mean, people bash it a little bit too much than they should. Like it is pretty good. It's a fun. I mean, it's the only game I play really. So it's like.
It is the only game I play.
Yeah. I don't because it's if you do the Hut, people are bored right now. That's okay. If you do the Hut, you have to put a decent amount of time into or money to make your team competitive. So
decent,
decent, yeah. So it takes a little bit of time, but I usually just 45 minutes a day, just kind of before work, kind of just get in there. So I'll be doing that. If you see me on the sticks, KRYWYJ 1981, you can hit me up. I will bust that ass for you, free of charge. free of charge. I'll take on all comers. You, your kids, your grandson, whatever it is, I will bust that ass. So like and subscribe. Invite me on Xbox on September 28th, 7-day early access for NHL 25. I'll be there. I hope I'm off. If I'm not, I'm calling out sick. Sorry, work.
Looks like you're getting a vid.
Because that's a floating holiday type of thing. I'll take a holiday.
It's religion.
It's my religion. My religion is hockey, and so is this podcast. Listen.
That's our third song on our album, by the way. This religion is hockey.
11 minutes to tacos, playing at a venue near you. So yeah, we'll hopefully by the time I get off this podcast, this recording, Larry will have emailed me back, Mr. Lawrence from Apple. I wonder if his name is really Larry or that's just his Apple name, like a stage name. You know what I mean? Like Fergie was like Stacey Ferguson. Why did I just go right to Fergie? I don't know.
Of all the people you went right. Of
all
right
the
to Fergie.
people on planet Earth. I'm like, you know how Fergie, and that wasn't even a good example because it's kind of her last name. So that was terrible. I was up way too early today, so I don't, my brain is working. But anyway, like and subscribe. Larry will text me back. We'll get it up on Apple hopefully today. I emailed him all the stuff that I needed to email. He requested, so hopefully we'll get that all situated. Ace is going to get up on Spotify. This will be up on YouTube. We'll work on the screen sharing situation. Maybe I got to email somebody about that. Yeah, shout out to I don't know how many shout outs. I was going to shout somebody out. Shout out to the lady I'm romantically interested in who said we have good chemistry. I told her I'd give her a shout out, but I'm not going to say.
I like that. That's quite the compliment.
It is a compliment. We're going to end it.
I'll give a shout out.
Go ahead.
I'll shout out to my wife. 10 years.
10 years bliss.
And you haven't killed me.
I'm going to shout out Ace's divorce lawyer, who will be getting an email in just a few minutes because he's done a podcast on his 10th anniversary of marriage. All right, we'll see ya. Ace will
religion.
Be single. I hopefully will not be, and I'll see you. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Next time we record this, we're going to be closer and closer to hockey, Ace.
Oh, I love it.
See you then.
See ya.